Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. The Dominican Republic has a very talented fighter by the name of Luis Reynaldo Nunez, and he moved to 20 wins with 13 KOs, no draws, no defeats. He unanimously outpointed Leonardo Baez, a very, very tough man from Mexico, 29 years of age. Nunez is 25. And Baez came in as one of those gatekeeper types. He had 21 wins with 12 KOs record with 6 defeats, 5 defeats when he came in, 3 by stoppage. Very, very tough man. Never going to be a world beater, but he's a hard night's work for anyone. And excellent work if you're an up-and-comer like Nunez is. Now, Nunez, in his last 5 fights, had fought 4 undefeated fighters, fellow prospects, and he'd beaten the lot. I think he'd beaten them all on points, which proves he can box very, very well. And sure enough, we saw a lot of good work against Baez. Very precise work, slotting in some nice punches around the corners, straight, very good jab, didn't neglect the body, probably headhunted more than he went to the body, I suppose. But he's one of those guys with real precision punching. The only knock against him was that, both of them, I suppose you could say, is that there were little pockets of this fight where neither was really doing much work. I think for that reason, it wasn't a particularly thrilling fight, but it was excellent work. Good 10 rounds for an up-and-comer in Nunez against a very, very tough man who will give anyone a hard night's work. Only the top echelon of fighters are going to stop this guy. And Nunez, to be honest with you, there was only one occasion when he looked like stopping Baez, and that was in, I think, the 8th round, when suddenly Baez was beginning to sag a bit, and there was blood. He had blood coming out of his mouth, his nose. I don't think he was cut, or was he? I know he definitely had some swellings over the eyes, but he was beginning to look ragged. And Nunez was turning up the heat, but still couldn't get rid of him. And then you were thinking maybe the corner are going to have a look between rounds, but between the 8th and the 9th, they let him come out afterwards. They had a look at him, let him come out, and yeah, he reverted back to type, being that little tough nut to crack. Nunez, in all honesty, he's got 13 KOs in 20 wins, but it doesn't look to me like he really tries to knock anyone out. It looks to me like he's quite content to just box. Heavy hands. He's got his jab is very good as well. He doesn't neglect the jab. His footwork is, one of the commentators, I don't know whether it was Paulie Malignaggi or Chris Algieri, made the point that if you give him movement, his feet can sort of slow up. He does. There are those little periods, those little pauses where he's not quite as consistent as perhaps he could be. It's almost like he's resetting himself, and it takes him a little 10-second periods to reset himself, and then he'll go again. So I suppose a guy who's busier or a bit more front-footed might give him some trouble. And that's not to say Baez wasn't front-footed, because he was trying to fall in and get in close and have a little, bit of phone booth warfare. It was never going to really work against Nunez, because Nunez, these are featherweights, although I think this was probably closer to the super featherweight limit, this particular fight. But I think Nunez classed himself as a feather, and he looks quite big for the weight. He looks quite physically strong. So if he can continue to make, 126, then I would say stay there, because 25 years old, you're going to make the weight easier than if you're 30. He's 5'7", so he's a nice height for the weight. And yeah, I like what I saw. I did. I like what I saw. I think a little bit more consistency, perhaps, in the work rate. He wasn't puffing by the end of the 10 rounds, far from it. So he's clearly had more energy to give, but I would like to see him use more of it consistently. And also, I think, again, the commentary team made the point that if you're going to... This was on ProBox TV, by the way, which is really excellent. Free, good cards, free to air on YouTube. Go watch them. If you're missing them, you're missing out here, I'm telling you. But they made the commentary team made the point that if you're going to transcend that sort of, cult figure level, or also ran level in terms of commerciality, you're going to have to show something. You're going to have to really turn up the heat and be entertaining and score some knockouts. At times, Nunez had the sort of air of a Reynaldo about him. And of course, we know that Guillermo Reynaldo, as brilliant as he was, did not really transcend. He didn't crash through that paywall, that sort of commercial value. He didn't recognise his commercial value. The commercial value was not in comparison to his level of talent. You know, one was down here, the talent was up here. Well, if Nunez wants to start making some serious money, he's probably going to have to turn the screw a bit more and be a bit more, let your hands go, be a bit more cavalier, be a bit more aggressive, visibly aggressive. Although he does what he does extremely well, which is to chip away, erode you, and then beat you up, as well as just beating you. But it's all right. He's a good fighter. And again, only 25, so got plenty of years to go. Is he ready for a world title shot yet? I would say not. I would say another few 10-rounders, another 2 or 3 10-rounders. No harm in that. Maybe pick up a couple of these intercontinental, international trinkets, get a ranking and see where you go from there. But what did you think? Did you watch this fight? If not, like I say, it's not the most thrilling fight. It's not boring, but it's just not the most thrilling of fights because it's a bit too bitty. But tell me what you think if you've seen Nunez before. And please, comments below, as always. Thank you very much for your time and for watching the video. Please hit the like button if you like the video. And subscribe to the channel if you're new, because you're helping us out. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Bye for now.